Okay, at least let me summarize. Okay, let's refresh. When we're refreshing, what are we trying to do? Okay, we have an editor. This one, the user is not going to see, as I said before. This one is going to help us to program what we want in this program. We have several, each one of them is a menu. Is that right? See the beauty when I click here, the editor is being notified which tab is the one that I want to edit. For now, all what we did, we made the HTML, it's where we're putting whatever's supposed to be here. So when we change this one, okay, let's just do the opio Daniel, okay? Okay, I save it. He knows how to save it in the right place in the database. So when I refresh and go to Opio, he's really using whenever it's in the HTML here. So this editor knows on which tab is going to apply all his functionality. When I click here, I am updating really the editor. And how do you know it's updating? See on the top, I made the title to change code and HTML editor for tab my code. See that? When I click on Sigal,
Yes.
it changed to Sigal. Those functions belongs to the Sigal tab. The, the HTML belong to the Sigal. I added another thing, setting. What's the objective of the setting? I want to throw away this one. Eventually, I want to throw this one away. I don't want to write the HTML myself. I want somebody to write it for me. And how do I do that? Here we go. I'm going to, now when I went to the setting, I want to be able to click a button and it will make a button here. You got it? Now, how does it know which tab to put it on? Because Sigal is marked and it says this, the editor is applying to Sigal, so it's going to put it on the Sigal. Moreover, after putting the button, I want him to keep it in the database. So next time when I refresh the page, he knows how to create a button, as we're doing with the HTML now. When I do a change here, I save it, is keeping it in the database. When we refresh, it comes back to here. I want to go one step further. This is how. I want that when I click on the button, I want him to create an object that knows how to make buttons in HTML. Moreover, I want him to be able to add functionality to this button. Moreover, I want him to be able to change the color, the title of the button. They're going to be in the tab of Sigal. So this one is an editor that's going to be very sophisticated. There are going to be a lot of buttons. I'll make it much smaller here. It'll be a small button. When I click on it, so to make sure that I'm in the right direction, well, I want to make sure that I really have a full control. When I click on it, see, I know a lot of things. I know inside the click button, when I click on the button, I know the link out up to Sigal, who is the active tab. I know who is the editor. I have a link to the editor. I have a link to the parents of the button, which is setting. And I have a link to myself, of course. And now I can tell him create AC button. AC button will be the object that will manage everything. That's the idea. Now that will be stupid if I stop here because I'm going to have so many of them. Am I going to do AC button, AC title, AC span, everything's in HTML? Oh, I can do much smarter than that. You will do all of them, but you will do them in much more sophisticated way. I used already that trick when I created the other stuff. When I created the other stuff, I did it. Okay. By the way, see the beauty of it. I have a button here. Is that right? See how easy it will be to add another button there. All what I need to do is go to here and in the setting, okay, I have a button. Is that right? I'm going to make a comma and I'm going to call it span. Span is really like a place you can just type something. Okay? And the span, we won't put anything there yet. I'm not really using that one for now yet. Let's see what happened now. All the magic. By the way, I don't really have a function like this one. I made a function for the button. Okay? I didn't make a button function for, when I will click on it, nothing will happen. If I want something to happen, to see something, I can put it here. And the only things I need to change is instead of button, I will change it to span. That's pretty cool. Is that right? And here, just to know, I will just add another thing. So I will call it alert Amos. So you know when we click on that, we'll see also Amos, just for testing purposes. That's pretty cool. Now let's see what we're going to get. That's going to be really interesting. And then you know if you are in the right direction. Okay, here we go. Click on span or setting. Oh, how many buttons? We have 2 buttons. Automatically we got another button. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Click on button. Okay, we have Jimmy. We are on Jimmy. Editor. Setting. It's the parents. And the button will create a C button. Okay, let's click on span. Hey, it said Amos. Remember I added that Amos? So we know the difference between them. The next one, it will say Jimmy, because we are on Jimmy. It will say editor. It will say setting. What is it going to say now? AC span. AC span. It's going to generate an object called AC span. That's pretty cool. So they already, both of them know what they're supposed to generate by their name. That's pretty hard. Now, how many objects like that I need to do them? A lot of them. That's not an easy one. Secondly, the objects, those objects, their job is very hard. It's extremely hard. So let me remove those one for now. So we don't really need to see that. That was really good for exercise. Okay, just let's keep those 2 for now. I will throw them away eventually. I'm going to generate an object by the name AC or whatever. Now, what will be the smarter things to do? If I want to make it general, and there's a lot of them will have similar properties. Secondly, each one of them should have a dictionary holding all the information about himself. And that's what we'll do next time, okay? By the way, I did that kind of things before with those ones. By the way, you can tell this dictionary is pretty powerful. See how this is controlling everything. The whole editor. When we finish, we just put it somewhere and that's it. And if we need some more functionality, we'll add it. But the hardest part still to be done. There should be an object that will know how to change his properties according to if it's his AC button or that AC span, but all of them should have something in common. That's why you generate like what I did here. I have a menu button, I have a sub button, and now I'm going to make something new. And with that, we'll finish. Okay, and I will work on it. And by the way, I put the width, you can change the width, of course, blah, blah, blah. We'll play with that later on. For now, I'm going to make another function. For now, it's not going to be sub. It's going to say AC object. And the truth of the matter, this AC object, it needs to know a lot of things, and maybe not. We'll see. I don't really know. I definitely will transfer him a name, his own name. I'll probably transfer to him a lot of other things. okay? And is not going to be the one that I'm going to generate eventually. See, eventually, I don't need AC object. I need AC button. I need AC span. I need AC table. You got it?
Yes.
And how do we do that? So that will inherit from this one, but this one definitely, okay, definitely will have certain properties. One, these does properties. This is, it will keep all the properties. I don't know how you spell properties, God. How do you spell properties? Here we go. And that's going to be a dictionary. So I don't have to repeat it everywhere. I will also give him his name. This, that, parent. I always do that. Then I know the link between them. Then I will do this, that, my name. So I know who I am. Is that right? Container, I don't really know. I might need a container. I don't think I will need a container. I will be probably, most likely will transfer to it the tab. So tab name, most likely. I will transfer to it the tab itself, the object of the tab. So I will write here this that tab. The reason is I will do that so it will go to that directly. It will find, you can find it through the parents. You can find it through the parents, through the editor, but that will be a cool one. The way that it's really, you know, this is really unnecessary. Okay, it will be part of the properties that we will transfer to it after we create it. Now, when this one is done, okay, what is the real challenge? That's really the hardest part. And I did it already before, and it works beautifully. If you look at this function, get main button or get sub button, this is a special function. I want to go and create the SC which will inherit from this one. And that's the challenge. And we'll deal with it next time. Okay? And then when this button is creating the object AC button, it will know how to create it and has all the functionality inside it, but it's not a simple exercise. Really, really very, very advanced, I should say. So don't get intimidated if it looks like totally behind your head. By the way, the properties, this is not enough. It will have to have that setting. And I will need something for the setting, how to make the setting to edit that object. And then eventually we'll put it as part of the tab. And from the tab, I will take the, you know, by the way, I created another field here called tab content. And in the tab content is going to replace the tab text. I'm going to delete this one eventually, not the HTML, and this one will hold a lot of stuff. So eventually we'll need to know how to put himself in the right place in the tab and keep himself there and being right back into the right place. But that's next time. We'll go a little slowly. This is really, I jumped like 3-4 times ahead of the game. Okay? Okay. Can I see you guys or you don't like to be seen?
You can see us.
Did you get the idea? That's the key point.
Yes.
That's the key point. The key point is really, let me do it again. I'll repeat that and close the recording. Again, the idea and the challenge. We have an editor. This is really the programming tool. This is replacing PyCharm. Is that right? It's really going to replace PyCharm for the JavaScript.
Yeah.
Correct? This is going to replace PyCharm for JavaScript only. We're not dealing with the Python. The Python we're done. We know how to communicate. We have one object there and he does the work for us. So, and he does it for all the application. So what we need now is really like, and we don't need Django anymore for the conventional way. We will see in the future, you'll see it's not really true what I'm saying now. We might want to put tables that has content in the specific application. And I might need to change that object there so you know to which application is applying to, okay? So it's not exactly true what I just said now, but the beautiful part when I click on setting, I'm gonna put here many buttons, okay? The idea is that when I'm on Jimmy, I don't wanna go here and manually build up the HTML. If I want a button, I don't want to write it like that, okay? I can do it this way. Button, is that right? That's one way to do it. Is that right?
Yes.
Let's save it. Let's see if that works. Refresh. Jimmy has a button. Hey, but what happened when I click on it? And what happened if I don't want the buttons to be here? I want it to be here. I don't want to use this one. I don't want this one. I want when I click, let's say, that will go away. I want when I go here, I click on the button. An editor will be coming here. A place I can write the title. When I write the title here, the button here will have the button. Let's say I said Amos. I will put the title Amos. The button will have Amos. That's pretty cool. Brenda started getting the idea and she likes that. Moreover, this one going to be split into two. On the left side, this editor will have to have two parts. Here, like we did in the code. You see what we did in the code?
Yes.
Yes.
What are those functions? Those functions are being activated when we're clicking on one of those buttons. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, I want, when I get to here, and I made a new button, I clicked here, by the way. This is really what's going to do the work, yeah? This is just for me for now. It will make a place for the setting, a place for all the function I can add to the button. On click, on move, on whatever. That's pretty cool. And then when it makes the button for me here, and I get the function on click, I click on it, I will get similar editor like here, with the function on click. I will write whatever I write, it will link it to the button it's making. That's pretty cool. How would you do it? But you got the idea.
Yes.
At least we got so far, we can add as many buttons we want. It works. You see, this one works. See that? That's beautiful. Tell you, SC span, he knows already how to create everything. It's going to be an object. All the work that I said, I'm going to make an object that will know how to generate a setting screen. It will know how to create the object here and take the setting and build up that object here. And moreover, put it inside the Jimmy tab in the database. So next time when a user refresh the screen, it will get all that object generated again, and it will generate the page automatically on the fly. That's pretty cool. I told you, Daniel, this I did 20 years ago. Most beautiful I've ever done in my life. I'm just doing it much better now, integrating it with Django. And now, 20 years later, people can appreciate it. When I talked about that with people that didn't have a clue what I'm doing, they thought I'm crazy. Now they realize the concept because they know much more. It was 20 years before his time. See, now you with your knowledge, you can appreciate the meaning of it. You have gotten all certificate too. 70% of it, you're teaching JavaScript. You're telling them, put it in the HTML, am I right? With a script.
Yeah.
Now, just imagine the next jump, you say, forget about the whole things. I wasted your time. You can put the JavaScript right there. You don't care which HTML you're putting in. It will manage it for you. That's pretty cool. You got it?
Yes.
This is going to be certificate 7, I think. If anybody survives until then, is that right?
Yeah.
I just hope nobody will make suicide.
Hopefully not.
But it's beautiful, isn't it? It really is beautiful. Because later on, I will teach you how you make those windows. By the way, we didn't get to that, how you make these windows. By the way, the object is already there in that library. And I use those windows all over the places. By the way, this is really you know, you can make different colors. You can make, I'm colorblind, so I don't really know what the difference anyway. But you can make, this is one menu, and this is a sub-menu. That's when I click here, the sub-menu changes. We'll make different colors of buttons nicely. Eventually, we'll work on it. You got it?
Yes.
As we go along, but that's the change. See, these functions, those buttons belong to the code. They do something else totally. See, I click on it. He asks me, he makes a new function. That's pretty cool. When I go to here, totally different menu. And this one knows how to, it's going to know how to make a button inside the tab. There's a place to write a book or two at least on this one eventually. Is that right, Daniel? When it's being done. Okay, so that's enough for today. I'm going to take 2 minutes break or 5 minutes break, and I will be right back and we'll continue. I will just stop the recording.